The VBS Incorporated ASTD Vandenberg Scales Mobile Display Unit. Automated Systems Technology and Design, division of VBS Inc. presents Trolley Vision. Trolley Vision is an automated system for automatically identifying carcass trolleys that are present in meat plants. The unit consists of a camera tube, a backlight, a processor unit, and obviously the hole patterns that are involved with putting in the trolleys. The Trolley Vision pattern consists of 9 holes, 7 of which are used for ID purposes, 2 of which are used for alignment purposes. We've recently set up Trolley Vision so that it will not only read the Trolley Vision pattern, but it will also read XL Beef's pattern that they had designed themselves. The two patterns vary in the fact that the XL pattern utilizes different size holes, different numbers of holes, with varying locations, while Trolley Vision just varies the location of the hole, never varies the size, and never varies the number of holes. This allows Trolley Vision to be a much more accurate trolley identification system. However, we have set up Trolley Vision reading stations so that they will read both types of trolleys. What I'm going to do now is demonstrate the trolley reading of the Trolley Vision pattern. As you can see by the display, it's showing the trolley ID number on the upper right hand corner. As I pass the trolley in front of that, you'll see that number change, and that's the Trolley Vision ID number of that particular trolley. Now I'll also pass the XL trolley past there, and you'll see its trolley number come up. Now if you'll zoom down to the television picture here, you'll be able to see how Trolley Vision captures the pattern as the trolley rolls by the camera. You'll see a momentary stoppage, and what's happening there is the camera station is automatically freezing the frame as the trolley passes by, and it's that capturing of that frame that allows us then to store it in memory and figure out what the number was. What we've got set up here is Trolley Vision is sending its information over to an intermediate unit. The information that we're sending, of course, is the trolley ID. The trolley ID is also now being paired with ear tag information. Here we have 2 different types of ear tags. One is an Allflex ear tag, and one is a Destron ear tag. And we have a reader set up that will automatically read these trolleys. It's set up in this hopper that's set over a garbage can. Now, in a packing house, obviously this would be a 55-gallon barrel, and as the carcasses were coming by, the ear tag would be removed from the carcass, thrown into the barrel as the trolley is passing by the Trolley Vision reading station. So essentially what happens then is on this unit then we pair that information together and send it up to the computers. What that aids you in doing is tracking the individual carcass yield and being able to track that yield through the packing plant. So you're able to return the hot weight information to the producer essentially by interfacing of those 2 numbers. Trolley Vision is a Vandenberg Scales ASTD patented product. It's set up with over 823,000 different combinations of numbers, and its strong point is the fact that it's been developed entirely for the packing house industry, and there's no electronics that are on the trolley itself. Therefore, it's a very rugged situation. Essentially, trolleys are drop forged every day, and we like to say that you cannot hurt a hole. What will happen if a hole gets plugged is very simply on a trolley vision system is it'll no read. It'll never misread. It'll no read. Now, with the XL trolleys, there's some room for discrepancy because of the fact that there's a varying number of holes. With trolley vision, we always have the 9 holes, so if one were plugged, we can tell that one is plugged, and therefore the number is impossible to calculate. As you can see, the trolley ID, as I pass it in front of the camera, will display on the unit there. This unit is obviously interfaced to trolley vision. This unit is also interfaced to the RF ear tag information. So there you see the upper line is the trolley ID number, the lower line is the ear tag RF ID number. Those two are then linked together and sent up. Are we going?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, as you can see, the trolley ID information will appear as I pass in front of the camera. Then I'm going to throw an RF ear tag into our hopper. So there you have the trolley ID number and the radio frequency RF ear tag number, both being. As you can see on our TV monitor here, as I pass the VBS sync trolley vision pattern through the field of view, you'll see it momentarily stop there. As I come back the other way, you'll see it stop there. What it's doing at that point is it's calculating the trolley ID number in just that little period where it stops. Now I'll pass one of the XL trolleys through and you'll see how it works on that one. Obviously, in an actual plant, the trolleys would only move in one direction. With trolley vision, we obviously have a camera tube, we have a backlight, a processing unit, and then we recommend that there also be a cleaner blower that can be purchased from ourselves. That what its purpose is it's an insurance policy basically to make sure that the trolleys are kept clean. I'll go over the adjustments that are done to trolley vision. If a camera would ever have to be replaced, or occasionally it's required to clean the window that the camera looks through, quick access is gained to the camera tube just simply by opening this door. There is a gasketed windowed section that can be easily cleaned here. Obviously, the access is gained to the bottom because the units are mounted very high in the air, up next to the meat rail. Sealing is very quick and efficient that way. Then, as far as adjustments go, we've simplified trolley vision to a large degree, and if you'll take a shot of the video monitor here, you'll see that there's basically 3 adjustments. When I hit this button here, that gives us our normal video. A normal video represents grayscale coming from the camera, 256 shades of gray. When I hit this button, it's back to digitized video. Also, we have the ability to aim the camera with another F key, and this gives us these 2 lines on there. Generally, if we're anywhere close to those 2 lines with the trolley pattern, it'll read just fine. And thirdly is the ability to set light level automatically just by hitting a button. That's what we're doing right now. You'll see the pattern changing somewhat as it's doing this. What's happening is it's automatically setting the light level at the optimum setting. We've reduced that down so it's just simply one button depress. Trolley vision is a very mature product that has been in the industry now since the early 90s, and has really been proven in over 11 packing plants throughout the nation. Thank you. RF ear tag readers can be configured many different ways. Obviously, the flat panel readers can read the RF ear tag as it passes by while the ear is still attached to the carcass. Another effective method of doing this is this hopper method that we've come up with here. The hopper is positioned over a 55-gallon barrel, which we have represented by this little trash can here. But with this hopper method, obviously ear tags in a lot of situations will want to be retrieved from the ears and reused. In order to do this, there will be an operator that will be cutting the ear tags off and throwing them into a barrel. What we've done here is build a hopper and funnel arrangement so that it stands over top of the barrel, so that as the operator takes the ear tag off of the animal, he can just simply throw it in the hopper. And just by the method of throwing it into the hopper through that funnel, we're able to automatically identify those ear tags as they're falling through. This allows us to link the ear tag information with the trolley ID information and really create the tracking process that allows us to gain the packer information back to the producer. This is the Vandenberg Scales High Accuracy in Motion monorail scale. This monorail scale is National Type Evaluation Program approved, meaning that it's legal for trade in the United States. We're also working on the legal for trade aspect for Canada, and we expect that very shortly. With this scale, we've taken a quite different approach to weighing trolleys, meat trolleys in motion. What we've done here is we've set the motor, the gearbox, the drive system, and the driving chain all on the live section of the scale. Our purpose of doing this is to propel the trolley away from the overhead pushing dog while it's being weighed. The push dog of the chain, of the plant chain, normally sets up in this area and pushes on this section of the trolley. The trouble with this is if you try to weigh while this is going on, you're getting an error that's induced by this pushing of this trolley. What we've done here is we've taken our own drive chain and we're driving the trolley based on this finger chain that comes out below our live rail. It's actually part of our scale. With the drive chain on the scale, what we're doing is running faster than the plant chain is. So we create a gap between the plant push dog and the trolley. And this gap allows us to accurately weigh while we're in motion. Another unique aspect of the Vandenberg Scales High Accuracy in Motion monorail is the utilization of the patent that we've achieved on the transition rail. The transition rail is essentially a way of loading the live rail gradually, as opposed to going from zero load from the dead rail to full load of the trolley instantaneously, as all other manufacturers do. The transition rail is supported beneath the dead rail, and also when it is loaded, it is also supported on the beginning of the live rail. So essentially what happens is as the trolley rolls onto the transition rail, initially, approximately 10% of the trolley load is applied to the scale. As it rolls across the transition rail, this is gradually increased until 100% is obtained approximately in this area here. Shortly thereafter, the trolley is caught up to by our drive chain. The drive chain, of course, is traveling faster than the overhead chain, thus it begins to pull a gap, and as we get across the scale to approximately this area, we're now beginning a weight averaging. The weight averaging is happening at 60 times a second and is controlled by distance of 2 photo eyes. So we always get the maximum amount of time averaging based on a plant's speed. The average starts, and as it transfers across the scale, ends just before the trolley rolls off the live rail. To demonstrate this, I'll turn the motor on and act as a plant chain pushing the trolley along here. trolley is being pushed up on top here with load on the bottom. It transfers over, change is picked up, carried away, and weighed. Once again, being pushed along by the overhead chain, picked up, carried along, and weighed. We'll go one more time here. The scale is interfaced through a load cell junction box that's pretty much standard in the industry. Allows summing of the two load cells that are utilized in the scale design. In addition to that, a standard weight averaging weight indicator that allows for two inputs, one for start averaging and one for stop averaging is used. As the photoizer hit, the start is begun, giving us dashes across the screen. Load is obviously on the scale at that point, and just before the load is released, the stop button is hit and the average weight is displayed. Thank you. Vandenberg Scales would like to introduce the static monorail that we've designed and produced. This static monorail is designed for low frequency weighing. Essentially, it has a couple of good uses. For example, with our high accuracy monorail, where you have a rail around for weight testing and scale testing, this makes an excellent scale to go in the rail around for that weight testing. It also makes an excellent scale for your smaller butcher shops and meat lockers that do custom killing. With this monorail, it is installed in the meat rail with a hanger on each end. Essentially, it utilizes a single load cell design that has a very short little live rail here that's designed for only a single trolley to set on at a time. It's a very simple little design that we've gone through the work of getting it NTEP approved, so it's legal in the U.S. And we also offer it in two different capacities, both a 500-pound and a 1,000-pound. A large part of what Vandenberg Scales and ASTD does is custom fabrication of various pieces of equipment for the food industry. In so doing, we've developed a lot of different enclosures, one of which is a printer enclosure. The printer enclosure you see here is for the Prodigy Max Data Max printer. It allows the printer to be completely accessible while still allowing for a watertight seal very quickly and easily at the end of the day. We utilize this aspect in a lot of the box labeling or combo labeling systems that we produce. I have set up here a little demonstration of a box labeling system with a scale mounted on top of the printer enclosure. What's done is, in the plant, as a box travels down a conveyor and presents itself to an operator, the operator will identify the box. They can either key in the ID number of or the product lookup number of the product, or they can just simply hit a single button on our 168 key hotkey keyboard. The hotkey keyboard can be completely configured with 168 different products and legend custom for the application. By simply selecting the product, the SDS computer looks up that product's information and is awaiting a scale weight at this point. The scale, obviously, the operator would then move the box onto the scale. I'll utilize this as my box. Sets the box on the scale. When the scale stabilizes in weight, the information, the weight information, is sent to the computer. The computer calculates the net weight, sends that information to the label printer, and the label printer then takes off and prints a box label or a combo label based on the application. We call this application a manual box labeling system. We also do completely automated box labeling systems in which there would be conveyor systems, barcode scanners, etc. that the box would never stop moving and would have an automatic label applicator on it. Essentially, it's the same type of process, just eliminating the manual operation. with this manual operation here, we have it set up so that when the number of boxes is reached that represents a pallet, the unit will automatically print a pallet label. So we're running along here with 5.1 pound net weight boxes. And when we complete a pallet, the pallet label is printed. The pallet label lists the quantity of boxes and the accumulated net weight on the pallet. All barcoded information so that the boxes or the pallet can be tracked. A large part of what we do at ASTD is design, build, fabricate enclosures for various pieces of equipment. One of the enclosures that we have in our MDU here is built to enclose computerized equipment with the idea of putting that on the shop floor. It's built really with two barriers to the equipment. One barrier is for washdown, the other barrier is also a splash barrier for incidental water, that sort of thing. The outside washdown barrier can be removed simply by turning the latches, removing the washdown cover. That gains access to the keyboard and the operational aspect of the computer equipment. The keyboard can further be removed at night for washdown if needed. Also, the computer equipment is enclosed behind its own seal. This seal is easily removed for gaining access for servicing purposes. To demonstrate what you can do with a computer on the shop floor, we've set up this unit to actually act as a sorting system for sorting bean bags. The bean bags are weighted differently. The different colors also are different weights. And what we have is this little conveyor system behind me here. This conveyor system includes a feed-in conveyor, a scale conveyor, and a conveyor for doing sorting. How the system works is that a bean bag is laid on the feeding conveyor. The feeding conveyor carries it across the scale. The scale will obviously send the analog signal of the weight to the weight indicator. The weight indicator calculates the weight based upon the photo eyes that are broken on the scale. Once the weight indicator calculates the weight, it sends it to the computer that's enclosed in our stainless steel enclosure here. The computer decides, based on the weight, where to sort the bean bag off at. The computer is also monitoring the distance that the sorting conveyor has moved. It's doing this by an optical encoder that's attached to the conveyor drive. So essentially what happens when we turn the conveyor on is that the bean bag is weighed automatically and sorted off. So you can take the various bean bags, set them on the scale, and the unit will automatically sort them off. You'll notice that some of the bean bags came off at different gates. The reason for that is we have the bean bags, or the gates actually, set up so that they will alternate based on reaching a certain count. What happens is we set the bean bags on. We'll do it one more time here. Sorting systems are used in all sorts of different applications. For example, in the pork industry, we sort hams, bellies, ribs, loins. In the beef industry, we'll sort hides. Also, a good application is the back-off area. There we could sort by vision. You can sort by barcoding. You can sort by vision systems, by scaling systems, or combinations of any of them. Quite often in hide sorting, for example, we'll have an operator that's doing a visual grade by what type of brand a hide will have. And we're also not limited to any type of conveyor. The only real requirement of the conveyor is that it be a positive drive and that we be able to attach an encoding wheel to that drive. That encoding wheel allows us to measure the actual belt movement of the belt. We measure belt movement as opposed to time because belt movement and time can change based on what happens with the electrical frequency coming into the plant. We're supposed to get 60 hertz, but we may be getting 63 today and 57 tomorrow. If we were operating based on time, our gates would be in the wrong spot. Operating on distance move, our gate and our travel always coincide with one another. VBS has done extensive work with sorting systems throughout many years and are very comfortable with adapting to almost any application.